boy. What's up, baby? We're going to rustle a few feathers today. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to my crypto journey. Of course, my name is Rodney. Do me a favor and smash the like button. Push us up in the old algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you like being here. And let's talk about Richard Hart, because it looks like the authorities are having trouble finding him. At least that's the hearsay around the cryptocurrency world. And is Richard Hart next out of the many crypto main characters being clapped by the three-letter agencies, SEC, DOJ, IRS, whatever? They're going after crypto people, and I think that Richard Hart is probably next. We don't know what's going on, but he was accused of pretty much mismanaging customer funds and using customer funds to, you could say, fund his extravagant lifestyle. Now, Richard Hart has been no stranger to hiding his wealth. He's been pretty transparent with how he spends his money and how you are definitely poorer than him. And today we'll talk about CZ, why he may be getting the short end of the stick. And this is what I thought would happen. He's being deemed a flight risk, and they don't want him to leave the United States. I do not think the CZ Binance situation is over. I do think they're going to try to give this guy more time, because there's other allegations that were kind of talked about earlier this year that no one's really talking about right now. And that was him allegedly mismanaging customer funds and using a Binance US and Binance.com to launder money, all that kind of crazy stuff. And really, the allegations that are that there is pretty much no difference between the two entities. We'll get into that. And then we'll talk a little bit about Justin Sun, another crypto main character that's probably going to get clapped next, and how Tron's just, in my opinion, just a big front. All right. So what's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see Javi in the chat. We see Sacco Hunt, Edgar, Chris. What's up? What's up? What's up? We have Arman. We have Rob. Good morning. Good morning. Camo G, Ryan, Jason. What's up, guys? Welcome. And Matthew, welcome. All right. The overall cryptocurrency market is looking pretty decent today. Nice recovery since we had a pretty big dump yesterday. We're up 0.40%, or now an entire 1% up. So the cryptocurrency market is pumping. At the same time I go live. Coincidence? I think not. Nice. The entire cryptocurrency market is sitting at $1.41 trillion. Our trending cryptos are Terra Classic, Gorilla, and Terra Luna UST. Now, USTC. Now, this was pumping insane yesterday, big pullback, but still up significantly on the week chart. Our trending cryptos when it comes to our biggest gainers are SEI, FTT, and Celestia. Celestia continued to move. We love it. And then, of course, we have our biggest losers are Terra Luna Classic, ApeCoin, and Leo. Now, obviously, Terra Luna, ApeCoin, and Leo all had an insane week. So, obviously, what goes up must come down. All right, look at, am I saying HEX is a Ponzi scheme? I know a lot of people are going to think that way. Well, the original HEX is a Ponzi scheme. I mean, obviously, all you do is stake it, and that's it. You just stake it. But Pulse Chain, PulseX, a little bit differently, right? A little bit different. Okay, they operate a little differently. Okay, so this is the article. The SEC is having trouble serving HEX founder Richard Hart with its lawsuit. So HEX and Pulse Chain founder Richard Hart initial court appearance has been postponed from November 28th to January 30th as the SEC struggles to serve Hart, who lives in Finland, with the lawsuit. The SEC is having trouble serving Richard Hart, the HEX and Pulse Chain founder, best known as Richard Hart. His last name is Richard Schuller. With its lawsuit for allegedly selling unregistered securities. According to a recent filing, while the SEC requested in August that the Ministry of Justice of Finland serve the lawsuit to Schuller, who resides in Helsinki, the SEC has yet to receive word that Schuller has been served. A teleconference initially scheduled for November 28th has been postponed for January 30th, 2024 by Magistrate Judge Peggy Kuo, who is overseeing the case for the Eastern District of New York. The Eastern District claimed jurisdiction as, quote, many of the crypto asset transactions described herein took place on Uniswap, a so-called decentralized crypto asset trading platform whose developers are headquartered in Brooklyn. I didn't know that. So Uniswap developers are headquartered in Brooklyn. Interesting. According to the SEC's complaint. That's a little scary, right? The SEC's lawsuit accuses Schuller of raising over $1 billion in unregistered securities offerings since the end of 2019 and using the proceeds to spend lavishly on luxury cars, designer clothes, and a black diamond dubbed the Enigma. Now, I don't know what you think of Richard Hart, but he is big when it comes to outrage culture, or outrage. You can say outrage marketing, right? Pretty much pissing you off. Either you hate him or you love to hate him. Or you love him, you hate him, you love to hate him. One of the three, right? He's been pretty like, hey, man, like, look at mine. And we'll get into some of the stuff he's talked about. But he's like, hey, man, look at my new clothes. Look at my new cars. Look at my new diamond. It's bigger than yours. I'm richer than you. All that good stuff. Now, HEX is interesting. Now, keep in mind, guys, the entire cryptocurrency market is down pretty bad. But when you look at HEX, it's down extremely bad, right? Now, this thing was at 40-something cents near its all-time high. It's now at fractions of a penny. Now, things dump, guys, but let me tell you something. Things don't dump this bad. A lot of cryptos peaked in 2021, and HEX has been absolutely dumping. Now, if you look at HEX, what does HEX actually do? Well, you just stake it. Now, Richard Hart did something called Sacrifice for Pulse Chain and PulseX, which is his decentralized exchange and his fork of Ethereum. The most liquid network, whatever. It's supposed to be better than Ethereum, faster than Ethereum, cheaper than Ethereum. Pretty much what every other network is doing, except his angle is that it's more decentralized than other cryptocurrency networks like Solana and stuff like that, right? Because there's a ton of layer twos, there's a ton of forks, right? There's a ton of alternatives to Ethereum, but when it comes to decentralization, they're all kind of centralized, right? I mean, do with that what you will, but that's pretty much the hubbub going around the cryptocurrency world. Okay, there is a popular X page called Whale DinoBet.io. Whale chart. It's like a cryptocurrency news, kind of like a watcher guru, but they always shill this little shitcoin called DinoBet. So it's like a shill page for DinoBet or Dino token, whatever. So they've been going after Richard Hart like crazy, and some HEX people. We'll get into some HEX people here in a second. But Whale says HEX is down 99%. Founder Richard Hart explains where the money went. And you can check it out right here.
What's up, haters? Richard Hart here, showing you what I got that you don't. These here are the new Virgil Abloh Louis Vuitton Nike Air Force Ones. I have them and you don't. Don't you wish you were more like me?
So obviously talking shit.
I could have my Gucci on.
And Richard Hart does this a lot, right? Walking out of these stores, right, with like lots of Louis Vuitton and really high-end merchandise, right? Now, Whale Chart and B Roots, who's a big HEX guy, obviously me and B Roots have a little bit of beef. He blocked me because he's a little soy boy. But they've been going at it on X, back and forth all the time. Now, B Roots is calling this page a scammer, and this person is calling B Roots a scammer. Okay, what's the difference? Well, B Roots does something called Shill Tank, where, you know, if you look at it, I'm not saying it's a scam, but it's pretty shady how they run their little business, right? You pretty much pay to play kind of thing. It's like a Shill Tank, like Shark Tank kind of thing. Projects go on, you know, usually they pay for them to say nice things about them, and their community usually buys them. It's a big pump and dump, right? It's a big pump and dump. And it's a lot of Pulse Chain projects, but a lot of ERC20 and other network projects too. They're just making money, whatever. Is it legal? I don't know. Who knows? Is what any of us are doing legal? I mean, I don't know. But he's pretty much calling this person a scammer. And I can't really say Whale is a scammer because he's just been promoting one cryptocurrency project. It's not doing the best, but it's just been one, right? It's not like B-Roots who they're promoting a random cryptocurrency product every day. Now, look at B-Roots, Ian, they're making their money. You know what I mean? So this person's been doing breaking. Pulse Chain and HEX founder Richard Hart is aware of B-Roots promoting multiple scam coins on his chain, but won't call him out, afraid it will hurt his community, right? So he's pretty much shilling Pulse Chain shitcoins, right? Whatever. But, you know, here's the thing. When you're the SEC, when you're the IRS, when you're all these like legal agencies looking at Richard Hart, and you're seeing all this stuff he's doing, like flaunting his wealth when they're trying to prove that he's been using customer funds he's stealing customer funds. And the allegations are like $12 to $14 million, which, let's be honest, we think it's way more than that. I mean, this kind of stuff right here, check this out.
Everybody, Richard Hart here, and enjoying a lot of Dom Perignon, and just got the last Dom Perignon Lady Gaga charity edition. The purchase price goes entirely to the Lady Gaga Born This Way Foundation. And now it's mine, so you can't have it.
It's so corny, right? And then Will says, most HEX investors believe Richard Hart is better founder than Vitalik Buterin. I mean, look at people worship Richard Hart. It's a cult, right? It's a cult. You know, it's literally a cult. And the reason why I invested in the HEX and Pulse Chain and stuff like that is because I want to make money. Do I care what happens to Richard Hart? No. Do I worship this guy? No. But it's a great community to be in because he's probably going to make money. Now, after he gets clapped by the SEC, I don't know. Does this mean I'm on the side of the SEC? No, I'm not. But obviously, with the sacrifice thing, because they use the word sacrifice, it's a pre-sale, right? It's a pre-sale. You can't be doing pre-sales. They're pretty big on that, right? Obviously, B-Roots, you know, getting, you know, exposed for, you know, pretty much, you know, doing shady promotions and stuff like that. I mean, whatever. whale charts going at him, in the fucking and publicly. B Roots, pretty much, do some insider trading, telling people what's going to pump and what's going to not pump. And shout out to Lee. Shout out to the Jesus community with another $10 donation. Lee, thank you so much for all the $10 donations. Lee, I'm going to DM you. Got a business proposal for you, so I'll slide in your DMs or DM me from the Jesus Twitter page. I have some friends that want to work with you. We'll talk about that right now. But check this out.
Everybody, Richard Hart here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
In hindsight, it's pretty corny, right? I get it. You're rich. Look at. We get it. You have money. You're rich. Oh, great. You're rich. I get it. It's cool. It's corny. And people always go to like, oh, you're just jealous. It's like there are many billionaires out there who we don't need to be jealous of because they don't do this corny shit. No one's jealous of Elon Musk. Maybe some people are. No one's jealous of Jeff Bezos. No one's jealous of anybody who created anything great unless they do corny shit. The corny shit like this. They hate on him because of this shit. This is what really rubs people the wrong way, right? I'm gonna check this out.
And my brand new Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black that I paid 700,000 euros for, wearing my $1 million Daytona Rainbow. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that gradient. Look at how perfect that gradient is. Also wearing my $1 million Bulgari Serpenti set here. This is what actually well-made, amazing, flawless jewelry looks like. Yeah, check it out. Here you go. You like that? Yeah. It's pretty beautiful, huh? Yep. Yeah. I figured flex videos are way cooler when you're wearing $2 million of jewelry, if you count the $1 million Rolex as jewelry, and a 700,000 euro brand new Rolls Royce. Ben Baller, you just got balled on, boy. You're nothing compared to me. Bring me your girl, dog. Let me get it.
Come on. Come on. If you think this motherfucker ain't spending money in HEX, you're wrong. He's taking your money. And for what? This? Everyone's like, Richard Hart was right. He's been right about a lot of things, right? He called the tops, he called the bottoms of Bitcoin, but a lot of people did, right? It's not just Richard Hart. He did. When everybody in cryptocurrency was perma bullish, he called that Bitcoin would dump. But he also said that Pulse Chain, his Ethereum fork, would be out before ETH 2.0. It'd beat it to the market. It didn't. Now, is it still better than ETH 2.0? Well, it depends what you think about better. Is it faster, more liquid? Or PulseX when it comes to Uniswap, you know what I mean? There's comparisons there. Yeah, I mean, those things are true. But keep in mind that Ethereum is so clunky and slow because of the volume it has, right? Ethereum handles so much of the cryptocurrency volume. But he wasn't right about HEX beating, or Pulse Chain beating ETH to the market. He wasn't right about that. He was really big on that, and it didn't happen. And I hold him accountable for that. You know what I mean? And there's more corny stuff like this, more pictures of him flaunting his wealth and stuff like that. Well, the SEC says, so they're having a hard time finding him. Remember, he was accused of some really, really crazy things. Richard Hart accused using customer. So check this out. This is from the SEC. So it says SEC charges HEX founder Richard, Richard Hart with misappropriating millions of dollars of investor funds from unregistered crypto asset securities offering that raised more than $1 billion. So it was, what was it? Like 12 something million, which it's more than that, but that's probably only what they can prove, right? There was like 12 to $14 million, something like that. Now the whole securities thing is still up in the air. Like we don't know what exactly, they call it a security, right? But check this out. Hart also designed a marketing and marketed a so-called staking feature for HEX tokens, which he claimed would deliver returns as high as 38%. The complaint further alleges that Hart attempted to evade securities laws by calling on investors to sacrifice instead of invest their crypto assets in exchange for Pulse and PulseX. So literally, like what I don't know if the SEC is going to care about you calling it a sacrifice more than just like investment or a pre-sale, right? But that's what he did, and he thought he could get around it, but it looks like it's not working. I can't find the 12 to 13 million dollars. I saw something like that where they're alleging him for okay, so the SEC also charges Hart and Pulse Chain with fraud for misappropriating at least $12 million of offering proceeds to purchase luxury goods, including sports cards, watches, and a 555 carat black diamond known as the Enigma. Here's the thing, guys. If they found Binance, if they got after CZ and Binance, they're going to get Richard Hart eventually, unless he keeps running. Crypto Art says, bro, I be flexing too if I was taking money from others, lol, and going to jail. Thank you so much, Crypto Art, for 14 months on the channel. And yeah, I mean, this is the people they come after. You know, obviously CZ is a little different, but these guys who like flaunt their, the wealth and stuff like that. It reminds me of like those kids who like stand in front of Lambos and they're like, oh, buy my trading course. So obviously Richard Hart's a little different. He's more successful, but it's a little shady. It's a little shady. We'll see what happens. I mean, look, am I calling HEX a Ponzi? HEX is obviously a Ponzi, right? This is Ponzi. Pulse Chain, PulseX, actually, some sort of use case. I like Pulse Chain meme coins. I think it's a great, great place to make some money. But just like all meme coins, it's gambling. So we'll see what happens. Now, check this out. Binance CZ is a manageable flight risk, US DOJ. So the DOJ wants to keep CZ inside the United States. But I don't think CZ is going to run away. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. But I do think they're going to try to get him on other charges. I think it's not over. I think they got the $4.3 billion from him. They made him pay all that money for bail. But now they're going to try to get him. Now that they got their money, they're going to try to get him, right? So the U.S. Department of Justice wants CZ locked up until sentencing, but it doesn't want him to leave the United States either. But it doesn't. I think this is fucked up. Oh, maybe whatever. But it doesn't want him to leave the United States either, arguing in a new filing that he's a flight risk that could be managed. Late last week, CZ's counsel argued that the very fact that he, a non-U.S. citizen holding UAE and Canadian passports, voluntarily entered the U.S. to appear before a court represented that he's not a flight risk. And I think that's true. If the guy's going to come all the way from the UAE, you know what I mean, to the United States, he's not going to run. Based on all the relevant facts, including Mr. Zhao's voluntary self-surrender, his intent to resolve this case, and a sizable bail package he proposed, Judge Tashuda found that Mr. Zhao represented no flight risk, no risk of flight, even while residing in the UAE. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that CZ is a flight risk? I don't think he is. I know the DOJ wants to keep him here because they want to establish their dominance. What we know about the United States, bro, is that they're fucking they're really trying to flex their wiener right now, bro. They're really trying to do it. And Crypto Art, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Did you see the Grok money move into Saitama? Come on over. Wait, really? Really? I didn't know that. Interesting, right? So what was this article right here? Yeah, so that's pretty much the same article. A lot of people think that the United States government is unfairly treating CZ unfairly. And this is pretty interesting. So why Binance's U.S. plea deal could be a positive for crypto adoption. And pretty much this article talks about pretty much, CZ, leaving the cryptocurrency space, kind of not, in charge of Binance anymore, is just going to make it so big money would want to get into cryptocurrency. That's pretty much the moral of this whole story, right? So check this out. Many predicted that Binance would never embrace regulation. It would only pretend to comply in jurisdictions like the United States. No more. Binance pleading guilty to money laundering and other federal charges on November 21 means it's giving up its free booting ways. It will also pay a $4.3 billion fine, the largest in the history of the U.S. Treasury Department. Moreover, Binance's founder, CEO, and principal owner, CZ, deemed that by many to be the most powerful individual in crypto, will be sidelined from the firm for at least 3 years after the naming of a court-appointed monitor. So obviously, Binance goes down, the largest cryptocurrency exchange goes down. It makes crypto dominance easier for people looking to get into crypto like BlackRock and stuff like that. Obviously, Binance held like 40% of the volume in the entire cryptocurrency world when it comes to centralized exchanges, which is a lot of volume. One exchange out of like hundreds of exchanges is a lot of volume. Now check this out. Tornado Cash falls 57% after Binance announces delisting. Obviously, the United States government doesn't like Tornado Cash. They don't want you to be able to hide your money in that way. You know what I mean? Which, whatever, but that's what they want, right? They want to make it so you can't hide your transactions. So if they need to look up on you and figure out what you're doing, they can. Now, when they did it, they talked about, there's a bunch of hackers from North Korea that, are using Tornado Cash, whatever. It's code. Like, how can you ban code? But I get it. Now, this is one of the effects of having someone from the United States, a representative of the United States, monitor what's going on Binance. Binance is not going to get the same volume it has historically in the cryptocurrency world, which makes, Coinbase a little more bullish, which makes, crypto.com a little more bullish. But in my opinion, I still don't think the United States likes Coinbase or crypto.com. I think they want to dominate this space. And the way they want to do it is through owning the centralized exchange market, you could say, and allowing big money to get into cryptocurrency to buy up all the Bitcoin. This is one of the effects of that. So they have to delist Tornado Cash. Now, one of the reasons why I like Coinbase is because they operate in the United States and they have to deal with our government. So they try to do things the right way and try to do whatever regulators want them to do. And so getting listed on Coinbase is harder because they just can't list everything. Like Coinbase wouldn't list Pepe in the middle after a month of it being in the space. That's what Binance did. Binance like, hey, we'll list Pepe because the people want to list Pepe. And that's what Binance is all about. That's what CZ is always about. CZ's always said, it doesn't matter what I want to list on the exchange. We listen to the people. The people want Pepe listed. We're going to list it. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's just a meme coin that just pumps, but we'll list it. Going forward, I think that it's going to be way harder to get listed on Binance because that American representative is monitoring what they do. So this is one of the effects we're feeling from new Binance, you could say, just new Binance. All right, another piece of news I want to talk about is Tron and Justin Sun. So obviously Justin Sun, Huobi, Poloniex, all that good stuff. Huobi, HTX, Poloniex, he manages those exchanges. They've had some pretty interesting hacks recently. One of the first hacks from Poloniex went straight to pumping Tron. Now, when you look at DeFi Llama, and you look at, and this is crazy to me. If you go to DeFi Llama and you look at the chains to what's, you look at all the total value locked in all the chains, you can see that obviously Ethereum is number one, but number two is Tron. Now, a lot of people think that this is all fluffed up numbers, And look at the gap between 1 and 2 is insane. Look how big Ethereum is. Look how big Tron is. And obviously BSC, I think, is legit. We'll see what's up after Binance. Like I said, new Binance is controlled by the United States. But Tron holds 16% of the total value locked in all chains. That's crazy. I think a lot of people think those numbers are inflated. And I personally think that Tron's a grenade. Anything involved with Justin Sun, I think, is a grenade. I think that he's honestly next. We'll see. There's been a lot of people in the space talking about how what he's doing with Poloniex, or my bad, Huobi or HTX, is shady. And he's stealing money and using USDT, swapping it for a Circle, USDC, right? And removing liquidity from the cryptocurrency market. Now, those are crazy allegations, but that's what we've been hearing around this space. So I would be very careful about investing in a Tron. Now, do I know anything? No, this is just my opinion. I don't know anything. This is just my opinion, but I do think that it's a grenade. And I do think it's going to come crumbling down. I do not think the United States government is done with cryptocurrency. I think Tether could be in trouble. I think a lot of cryptocurrency products could be in trouble. And, I think it could be pretty bad. It could be pretty bad. And that's why, you have people calling for like a 12K Bitcoin, a 10K Bitcoin and stuff like that. Because Binance, CZ getting in trouble with Binance is one thing, but Binance is still around. It's not going anywhere, at least from what we know as of right now. I know crazy shit has been happening over the last couple of years, but in the future, who knows? Maybe Binance is done. Maybe when they bring more charges against CZ, which I think is going to happen, and Tron goes down and Tether goes down or something crazy like that. Well, maybe that's what brings Bitcoin down to 10K. Because look, Bitcoin's not going to dump to 10K unless there's like a catastrophic event, right? And I can't imagine Bitcoin dumping to 10K after BlackRock gets in. So this crazy dump is going to have to happen very soon. A lot of people are saying these ETFs are going to happen in January, which who knows? No one knows when the ETFs are going to happen. People say they know. Oh, I heard from so-and-so. Like, no one fucking knows, okay? If someone tells you they know, just ignore them. They don't know. But I do think that before BlackRock gets into the cryptocurrency market, I do think that we're going to have a big dump. If we're going to have a dump, I don't think that big dump's going to happen after, because BlackRock getting into Bitcoin, right, into cryptocurrency to the form of Bitcoin and Ethereum, what they're going to be doing is providing a way, or making a way and providing access to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to investors that probably otherwise wouldn't invest in cryptocurrency. Now, are they going to want to do that? Open up this ETF, allow people to trade, and then Bitcoin automatically dumps? It's probably not going to be good for them. So I do think all this manipulation is going to happen before the ETFs happen. That in my opinion, that's what I think is going to happen. So we'll see what's going on. But HEX, Richard Hart, CZ, Justin Sun, more crypto main characters are going to be clapped, in my opinion. Now, I do feel bad for the HEX community, because people are so blind. To me, it's so obvious that Richard Hart is just a degenerate. Very smart, very intelligent, knows a ton about cryptocurrency, but he's the spam king. He has a history. This is what he does. Crypto was just another outlet to do it. I mean, it's tough. It's tough because, a lot of people worship this guy, and literally, if you watch his little documentary, which it's weird, it's like people are like, it's the same shit. It's the same thing. It's a guy that people worship in crypto. They got in early and made a lot of money. Guys, that happens to every cryptocurrency product at launch. If you bought any cryptocurrency product at launch, some of the big ones, you made tens of thousands of 10,000x. You just did. That happens. We see it every day in the meme coin world. So when people say like, oh, HEX, people 10,000x, it's like that happens every day, all the time. If you get in early to any reasonable project that pumped in 2021, you're going to make money. So it's not special. It's not special at all. It's not nothing unique. He made Pulse Chain. It's his own network. He made PulseX. It's like it's a decentralized exchange. It's like everyone does that. They start off with an ERC20 token. They make their own network. Like, we're not going to be on Ethereum. Ethereum's too slow. We're better. Come over here. It's the same shit. It's not special, And when you look at this guy, he's just a degenerate. This is how he gets people to look at him and watch him and hate him or love him, right? You either hate him or you love him. I know a guy personally who sacrificed $1.2 million of Pulse Chain. That's crazy, but if you have the money, whatever. So to me, I see right through it, but I also see that cult communities will buy anything. But if you look at Richard Hart lately on X, you see that he's kind of toned it down a bit. You know what I mean? He doesn't do all the crazy outrage marketing. He doesn't show all his videos. You know what I mean? But sorry, bro. HEX, Pulse Chain, and PulseX are the only true DeFi in market. Richard Hart delivered. What? How? I get it. Most things are centralized. But why is it better than anything else? He makes a point right here. Why is Bitcoin less decentralized than Pulse Chain? Because Pulse Chain, you don't care about power prices or cooling or specialized hardware, and you don't have to care as much about variance of reward because becoming a validator is so affordable compared to the price of the equipment you'd have to buy to solo mine every single Bitcoin block. And the argument for Ethereum is that if you become an Ethereum, validator, you have to have 32 Ethereum. So in order to have any say in what's going on, you have to have a lot of Ethereum, right? So that's the argument. You don't make the power company rich because it's not a proof of work, which is really proof of waste. Some people like that for the environment. Thus, Pulse Chain is forever skewed to be more decentralized than Bitcoin. The PulseChain.com architecture is beyond superior to Bitcoin's 4x higher throughput, thousands of times lower fees, saves the environment, decentralized exchanges, smart contracts. The only thing Bitcoin is going for is its big liquidity. And I remember that the best time to have bought Bitcoin is when it was liquid, was at its lowest. So he's pretty much saying that Bitcoin is illiquid, and that's pretty true. Right? If you really look at how much liquidity is in cryptocurrency compared to the market cap, it's pretty bad. Right? But what I'm saying is it's still scammy. Right? What he speaks the truth on a lot of things. But still, the whole spending all this money on this stuff, the whole sacrifice thing, like getting people to send him $1 billion, it's like he's still going to get clapped by the authorities. And look, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you want or what you think. The law enforcement is looking at him, right? The United States government is looking at him. They want him. They're going to get him. And I do think that they're going to wait till they have them before they really go after them, just like they did with CZ. CZ, they coerce CZ to come into the United States, right? Oh, just, we'll pay a fine. You did some anti-money laundering things, no criminal charges, or they're kind of criminal, right? Pay a fine, we'll let you go. And now that he's here, they're like, we don't want you to leave. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Hex says, have you read the case? They want him based off sacrifice, far different than CZ. So the case also says misappropriating and using customer funds. So the SEC also charged Hart and Pulse Chain with fraud for misappropriating at least $12 million of offering proceeds to purchase luxury goods, including sports cars, watches, and a 555-carat black diamond known as the Enigma. So this is from the actual website. It's not just issuing, which is still like up in the air. Like no one knows what security. We know what a security is, but no one knows what the hell is going on. Everybody's confused. So it's not just that. So this is the criminal stuff, in my opinion. Misappropriating $12 million. And I think that's a small number, but I do think that's what they can prove. He delivered, bro, for what we sacrificed for. I get it, but it's like people need to use it, So it cost $1 billion to do all that. Look, I'm not saying I don't like the spirit of Richard Hart's doing, because I love the spirit of what CZ was doing. Keep in mind, CZ got in trouble for just staying true to DeFi. CZ got in trouble for pretty much, why did CZ get in trouble? Because he was letting everybody and everyone use the exchange. And if you're offering, he was letting American customers use Binance. He was letting American customers do that. He was letting American customers use Binance when he knows that you can't do that. Binance.com is not for American customers. Binance US is for American customers. But they knew that was happening, and they let him do it. He said, rather than do it now than ask for forgiveness later. That's what he was doing, right? Yeah, smash the like button, right? CZ was literally letting anybody use his exchange. Yes, enemies of the United States were using Binance. Iran, Syria, Hamas, terrorist organizations, along with many other legit people that just wanted to trade cryptocurrency, but other people were laundering money. And so the United States doesn't like that. But if you think about what DeFi is, what is DeFi? DeFi is getting rid of the intermediary. There's no checks and balances. People can do whatever the fuck they want. Like if I want to buy something or use an exchange, I shouldn't have to care about who the United States government is an enemies, who they're in a fight with. But the United States is like, no, we sanction those countries. You can't be letting them trade on your platform. It's like, I like that. It's a spirit of DeFi. But the United States doesn't like that. And if it's a centralized exchange, they're not going to like that. And even though Richard Hart is staying true to DeFi, he's trying to do his best to make things decentralized. I mean, it's the United States government. They don't give a shit, right? They don't give a shit. They see him as a scammer, which a lot of people do. They see him as trying to get around securities rules by calling it a sacrifice instead of an investment, which I thought was going to backfire anyways. And they see him as using customer funds to buy luxury goods, which look at all the evidence for that. That's why you should probably just be a little quiet about what the hell you're doing online. But Richard Hart, this is the way he markets. This is the way people watch him. This is the way he can get HEX out there. The reason why HEX is such a big deal in our space and why people know about it is because he does dumb shit like this. And remember, he was also on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Remember that? I can't find here's the clip right here.
Where do you think the money comes from in trading?
Seminars, courses?
It's like if you go to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What you think pays for the big buildings? The winners? Nah,
Losers.
that's the people that lost.
People saying
this building's real big. Let me get in the losers queue to go help pay for this thing. It's so stupid. Where do you think the money comes from in trading?
So, I mean, he's on Fresh and Fit with his little fake black accent. It's pretty corny. You know what I mean? I mean, it's tough. It's tough, guys. It's tough. It's tough. We'll see. We don't know what's going on. I get it, but when you do stuff like this, you're poking the bear. People get pissed off and whatnot. Because look at HEX. Look how down it is, bro. Like, it's so down, bro. Yeah, it's still what 3,000% high that it's all time high. You know what I mean? Excuse me, from his launch price, but like it's so down. And literally, what do you do with HEX? You just stake it. That's it. He's promising, or averages, not promising, 38% returns a year. Over what time period? Since 2019? I'm saying. You clearly have no clue what HEX is. I know exactly what HEX is and what HEX does. This is a Ponzi. It's an ERC20 token that you fucking stake. Pulse Chain is his fork of Ethereum. PulseX is his decentralized exchange, the most liquid decentralized exchange. Everyone does that, except his is a little different. It's more decentralized, right? But it's not new. It's not new. I don't worship the man. I understand it, But Richard Hart, it's like this in everything. It's BitConnect, every fucking big crypto catastrophe. You always have maxis that are going to support this person no matter what he does. They're gonna worship the ground he walks on. You know what I mean? One Hit Aquita says, I'm confused to how the U.S. government can prove that certain crypto wallets were connected to certain groups or used for illegal purposes without KYC. One Hit Aquita, I wonder about that too. But here's the thing. What I do know is the United States government is always one step ahead. If you don't think they have people that are blockchain experts working with them, you're wrong. They do. They're smarter than us. They know what's going on, okay? That's why they had CZ, the biggest person in crypto, who's not even an American citizen, come to a place where he's not a citizen of to testify in court and pay them $4.3 billion. They're powerful. Right? They're smarter than us, guys. I'm telling you. And these centralized exchanges, at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, if they want to serve American customers, they have to do what they say. You know what I mean? I know we want to pretend like Richard Hart's smarter than the United States government. He may seem like that, but he's not. They're going to get him, especially if he's in a European country. They're going to get him, bro. Now, will he go to jail? I don't know, but it looks like they're trying to put him in jail. It's a lot of money he's dealing with, right? Now, it's like the HEX. This is so bad. This is not normal, right? Christy says he is asking this fools to stake it because that prevents collapse. Exactly, from overselling. HEX market cap is in billions, yet liquidity. Yeah, the liquidity to market cap ratio in HEX is pretty bad. I think we could see it on Dex tools. It's pretty bad, right? Like right here. The market cap of HEX is $6 billion, but the liquidity is 17 million, right? We are Ben Nation Strong Rodney. We can spell smart guy. We sold the trader. I love you, Miles. Thank you. Richard Hart is smart. He should teach Janet how to twerk. Yeah, he's good at twerking, but I'm telling you, man, it's going to be rough for Richard Hart. I don't think he's going to get out of this scot-free. I think he's absolutely FUCKED. SB says every wallet is either linked or seeded in some way. Without mixers, it's very hard to stay anonymous. Crypto isn't as private as many people think. That's true. Because if you think about it, SB, the reason why they're going after things like Tornado Cash, because when the United States banned Tornado Cash, it wasn't like, oh, we're going to ban Tornado Cash next week. It was one day it was fine, and the next day was, if you use Tornado Cash, you could go to prison for up to 30 years. That's how crazy it was. I'm telling you, they don't want people to be able to hide their money. They don't want that. And guys, I will be doing a show with Carlos. I'm not afraid of you, Carlos. We're actually going to be doing a show with Crypto Blood here in about a week. So, this Thursday. So it'll be good. Richard Hart is so fake. He doesn't even use his real name. No, it's Richard Schuler. Do people really think crypto is private? They do, but it's not as private as you think. It all depends on how much the government wants to look into you. Look at this. Look at this video, the highest of stakes. This guy is a narcissist at its finest. And sometimes you need a person like that to get you to where you need to be in cryptocurrency or anywhere, right? In a business. Sometimes you need a little bit of narcissism. Yeah, we're doing a Twitter live space or a stream with Carlos and Crypto Blood. So it'll be a good time. Okay, here's the point of cryptocurrency, guys. Here's the point. And this is how it's all going to be private. The point is just Bitcoin. Bitcoin is decentralized, completely decentralized. Yes, you could buy more of it. And yes, it can be attacked, right? But the point is, in the future, right? Everyone, me and you, we have a phone, right? You make a wallet. Your buddy makes a wallet, and you pay for everything with your Bitcoin. There's no centralized exchanges. There's nothing. Peer-to-peer. If I want Ryan H to, I don't know, mow my lawn, or if Ryan H wants me to come roof his house, which I can't roof, he can say, hey, Rodney, I'll pay you, 2 G's, come roof my house. Okay, cool. Send me some Bitcoin. Boom. Just like that. Boom. Done. And it's done. That's the point of Bitcoin. But right now, it's not really, with all the fees and stuff like that, it's not really possible like that yet. But that's the point of Bitcoin. The point of Bitcoin is an answer to the craziness that comes with traditional fiat and how our government just prints more money when they want to, and they do all this. You know what I mean? Because the truth is, not a lot of people have access to bank accounts. Especially with CBDCs, like they can freeze all your assets and whatnot. But Bitcoin, as long as you have an internet connection and a wallet, you can be able to pay for things. Like, say, for example, you live in a place where you could pay for rent, or the thing is, right, like most things in our life, you can't really pay for with Bitcoin, at least in the United States. Like, I can't pay my rent in Bitcoin. I wish my landlord took Bitcoin as a payment, but he doesn't. I wish I could pay my electric bill in Bitcoin. I wish I could pay my phone bill in Bitcoin, but I can't. So what do you have to do? If you make money in crypto, you got to send it to a centralized exchange, and you get your centralized exchange, send it to your bank, and right there, there's already a paper trail of what you've been doing. So until you can just be like, here's my Bitcoin, bam, 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 wham, wham, bam, thank you, man, bam, you know what I mean? Until you can do that, well, you know what I mean? And even now, even if you buy Bitcoin, I mean, depends on where you buy it. There are some places you could buy it anonymously, right? But most of the time, you have to buy it from a centralized exchange, or send money from a centralized exchange, or use a credit card or debit card to buy Bitcoin or on some sort of exchange, right? So, we'll get to a place. In the future, but as of right now, it's not really feasible. Griff says, you and Blood, I love Blood. I'm a paid sub. Yeah, Crypto Blood's a good dude. Crypto Blood and Carlos, it's going to be a good show. Get some HEX. HEX is BitConnect 2.0. The founder left you holding the bag. Bubba, stressful struggle. I mean, I'm not hating. I'm just talking about the facts here, The US dollar is under attack now. I know. Our government's like, let's print a bunch of money and send everybody stimulus checks. And they're like, inflation? How? It's like you send everybody a bunch of money. CZ was denied leaving the U.S. Possible flight risk. I did see that article, but I think it's they're saying he's a manageable flight risk. I don't think CZ's a flight risk. He literally came to the United States under his own power, because I think he was thinking of. So here's the thing about CZ. CZ could have not done that, but I think the United States government would have tried to attack Binance even harder. They would have tried to get it shut down. And then now they're trying to be like, hey, just come pay us a fine. You step down, and then Binance can exist. I still think they're going to try to take out Binance, and they're going to try to put him in jail. They don't want him to leave. But they got Bitcoin ATMs out this way. Yeah, if you use cash to pay for Bitcoin at a Bitcoin ATM, I don't know if you could do that, and send it to a wallet. That's one way to be anonymous, right? So, if you guys want to stay completely anonymous, I think you can use cash. But Chrissy says, people that scammed the government during pandemic thought they would never be caught. Wait till task force are created for crypto like they did COVID. Well, Chrissy, a lot of people with those PPE loans are getting clapped right now. A lot. What's up, Obaid? How you doing? A lot. Don't steal the government hates competition. Yeah, I mean, but it is the most powerful government in the United States. I mean, in the world. So, Jeez. What? Justin CZ stepped down from his role as chairman of board of directors as Binance. Okay, well, maybe that was normal. It's supposed to be like an advisor. So I don't think that's actually a big deal. Let's see if there's any more news on that. U.S. taxpayers spend $451 billion per year to house and care for illegal immigrants. Interesting. The SEC seeks to prove that Binance and founder CZ committed an FTX-style fraud, Wall Street Journal reports. See, they're trying to go after him, bro. HEX is awesome. I've made millions, still happy. Yeah, well, if you got into any cryptocurrency project and made millions, you're going to be happy about it. But you can indeed use cash for Bitcoin at Bitcoin ATMs, but do you feel safe buying a stack worth of crypto that way? I mean, they do work. I don't know if you ever used a Bitcoin ATM, but you just put in your wallet address and it does work. Send a little bit first to make sure. Send a little bit first to make sure that it goes to your wallet, but they do work pretty well. But even still, like, I think that wherever Bitcoin ATMs are at, like, it's probably going to timestamp, you know, where you put the money in. There's going to be cameras around, stuff like that. So you can make money from a Ponzi scheme as long as you get it early. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, Charles Ponzi, Bernie Madoff, like, there's a lot of people making money, but those are the people that got out early, got their return, and got the fuck out. The Ponzi collapses when everyone wants their money. There's been a lot of talk I've heard outside of like the mainstream media about banks in some trouble right now. You know? Christy says, we are going to cashless future already due to shoplifting. Realtors are creating vending machines so like they have in Japan. Cashless society favors crypto as that would be a payment option. Yeah, CBDCs are bad, right? Because they're completely centralized. But yeah, shoplifting is a huge problem. And you see all sorts of crazy looting. And let me tell you guys something. I worked in loss prevention forever as a retail guy. And companies only care about their bottom line, which is making money. They need to be in profit. Shortage is such a big deal. But a company's not in profit, they can't fucking operate because they're not making money. So if one store is short, right, or, you know, suffering from a lot of like theft, internal theft, external theft, what happens is, you know, they have to raise the prices for things, you know, and they have to cut payroll. So it's like people steal from these stores, not realizing that it does affect everyone. A lot of people, when they steal from retailers, they think that, oh, it's fighting against demand. Like Target or Walmart, like they have enough money, they're billionaires, we could steal from them and it's not affected. They think it's different from stealing than from like if you came to my house and stole like, I don't know, my dish set or something like that. People think it's different stealing from a retailer, and it is in a way, but you do affect payroll, which takes money out of people's pockets. You affect the cost of prices on certain things. And sometimes if the business is not profitable at all, they'll just pack up and leave. So you have to look out for that too. Like, you know, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I mean, a lot of inner cities, like you have people coming in and looting. It's like, no one wants to deal with that, and the cops can't really do anything about that. It's like if 10 people come in and loot a store, like you may catch one of them. What about the other 9? Like cops are so overwhelmed already, and they don't even care about petty theft. They don't care about it. Because back in the day, you could go to jail for a felony if you came into a store with the intent to steal, if they could prove that. Like if you were speaking to, say for example, I caught you stealing at Walmart. I'll tell you a real example. I caught this 19-year-old girl one time, and she was stealing a bunch of lingerie for personal use. She wasn't stealing it to resell. We call those boosters. But she admitted to looking for a bag in the parking lot, a used Target bag, to come in the store and walk out with the stuff like it was hers. So right there, she's admitting to coming into the store with the intent to steal. You could go into a Target, theoretically, this is back in the day, and say, while I was in the store, I just happened to think of stealing. And then you'd get a misdemeanor. But if you came into the store with the intent to steal, it doesn't matter what you stole, it's like burglary, because you came into the store knowing that you wanted to steal. Intent is everything. And like most criminal cases, intent is everything. And so I've seen young people get felonies and go to jail for admitting that, which it's sad. You hate to see young people go to jail for that. And so they changed the rule in 2016 in California. that it had to be over $1,000 for it to be a felony because they didn't want to put everybody in jail. Well, what does that do? Well, anybody goes in there and they steal $999 worth of stuff, they get caught. Oh well, if they don't, they made $999 worth of stuff, and they get a ticket. And usually people that are selling are stealing are like criminals already, so they don't care about another ticket or another, collections on their credit account. They don't care about that shit. So we got to a point where people don't even prosecute shoplifters anymore. So it's tough. GambleFi sector is the next. Yeah, GambleFi is great. Myria, all those cryptos are great. So I know, Brad. Yeah, I probably could, but I mean, the looting stuff is crazy. Like the cops can't catch everybody, nor do they care to. I remember cops are so lazy, bro. I mean, not all of them, but they're just regular people. They want to go home. They're probably underpaid. They deal with people lying to them all day, and it's not like fucking Bad Boys where they're like doing crazy car chases and shit and getting in gunfights. They're like literally taking reports on the dumbest shit all day, and it mostly has to do with homeless people. You know what I mean? And a lot of cops are just jaded, and they don't want to come to a Walmart to take a report for a shoplifter because they don't think it's worth their time. So it's all effed up. I don't know how retailers operate in this world. It's tough. Shortage is a big deal. Matthew says, I had a cop in California say basically nothing's illegal in California anymore. Yeah. I bought 8 houses from... No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Stressful struggle. No, you didn't. You're just saying shit now. No, you didn't. You're just a hex maxi. No, you didn't. Is Bitcoin pumping again? Yeah, Bitcoin's pumping again. Jeez. Who knew that not Richard, but who knew that CZ getting clapped was bullish for the cryptocurrency space? You know what's crazy about crypto is crypto's doesn't care about the macroeconomic situation. It's all spot Bitcoin ETF. If news came out that the spot Bitcoin ETF was not getting approved, Bitcoin would go directly to 26,000. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. One Hit Aquita says, same people who steal from these companies complain they can't find a job when the companies move away or go out of the... Yeah, exactly. And people say, oh, it's racist. It's like, no. Like, I used to work in high-risk stores. And high-risk just pretty much takes the average income in the area around it and pretty much does a little equation and says, oh, is this high risk or not high risk? Obviously, the poorer the community is, the higher risk the stores are because the more shoplifting there's going to be. And when those places move, people are like, oh, they're racist. They don't want to be in our neighborhood anymore. All our jobs, because keep in mind, like if a Walmart moves and leaves a community, that's a lot of jobs gone. And that's a lot of access to like goods, everyday goods people need. But it's like, what do you expect? Companies want to make money. If they're not making money, Dylan says, these ETFs are controlling crypto now. Very sad. It is kind of sad, right? I think we're kind of selfish. I think a lot of people are selfish in the cryptocurrency space because the people that are already in crypto like us, we want the ETFs because they're going to pump our bags. But at the same time, it's not good for the space. All right. If 10 people looting at Bloomingdale's, that is a big loss. Believe me, they're going to figure out a way to stop it. I don't know, Selmo. I've seen many stores like that get robbed. Louis Vuitton stores and stuff like that. I mean, like, how do you stop it? The only way you stop it is if you lock everything up. Like, it's so bad in some communities, they lock like the meat up. They have the meat in security protection devices. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see if there's any more news. Dude, whale chart is like super bearish on CZ. He says, prediction, CZ will easily spend the rest of his life in prison once the full extent of his fraud is uncovered. Given that he never bribed politicians, unlike SBF, he has no remaining allies and his fraud and money laundering were conducted within the U.S. Prosecutors will not hold back on charges against a foreigner. There's a reason why he's begging to be allowed outside the U.S. so he can escape and vanish, resign from Binance and all of its subsidiaries, and trying to distance himself as quickly as possible. I don't know about that, but Who works in retail anyway? They don't pay anything unless you are a manager. Those jobs are for high school students. Yeah, Chrissy, but unfortunately, high school students suck, bro. They suck. But there's a lot of older people that work in retail. There's a lot of high school students too who are like cashiers, but like the people that do like the jobs with operations and stuff like that, like the logistics jobs, those are all like older people that. And look, it's always been a huge like. I mean, you can make bank working in retail. Like managers at Target make like $70K a year starting off. Like that's pretty good for like a new job. But anything else, you know, it's pretty bad. Like cashiers and like other entry level positions, they don't make a lot of money. You know, but yeah, I mean, if it can all be automated, let's be honest now. I mean, in any place you go, there's only a few people who do all the work. Everybody else is like warm bodies. You know, that's just the way it is. You have a few all-stars and the rest just, and they all get paid the same, but you have a few all-stars and the rest just kind of like get lost and text on their phone. Like I was talking to my girl, check this out. Check this out. This is the robot that Amazon was testing out or something like that. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this robot. This robot's doing like some Amazon stuff, right? And it may seem slow. Like, look at these robots. They're sorting things and moving things. But let me tell you something. These robots, even though they're moving at a snail's pace, are probably over time going to do more work than an average employee. Because an average employee takes like 3 smoke breaks, texting on their phone, you know what I mean? Trying to get lost, taking an extended lunch. Like these guys don't need a lunch break. They don't need a 15-minute break. They just work. So all the time, over time, these robots and stuff like that are going to steal, you know, jobs from people. And Mark says the robots won't steal the AirPods. Exactly. I mean, you would cut down on internal shortage, payroll, like it'd be ridiculous. And you'd have to maintain these robots. And then when one's getting maintenance, you could just put another one in. Like, I'm telling you, man. You know? Psycho says, hunting and fishing, get your organics, $30 a pound of meat is... Jesus, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, yeah. Do you think you're better? I mean, it seems nuts, but this could be the future, you know? I mean, you know? Vending machines solve everything that does. Yeah. I mean, people are still trying to break into them, but you know, if you use vending machines for everything, like, yeah, I mean, that solves a huge problem. It's going to happen. We're rapidly moving towards a world with no jobs. What do people do if there's 0 jobs? I don't know. Fight and kill each other. Right? All right, guys. I'm going to go to get out of here, but I will be going live. Give me a second. And on a Twitter live space, I believe. Let me give you guys the link. Give me a second. On my friends. An X space. Is this an X space? It is. I'll put it in the description of this video. Coming out, I'll be going live in about 5 minutes. Come hang out with me over there, guys. And yeah. Chris says, well, I work in a sector that AI won't take over. I feel for trucking companies that may lose it. Yeah, dude, a lot of people. Thank you, Crow Nation. I appreciate you, brother. Guys, smash the like button on your way out. Thank you so much for watching. And come hang out with me live over on X. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace.